كلام في التصميم هو بودكاست من تقديم ليوان يستكشف مواضيع التصميم المعاصر في الشرق الأوسط وخارجه، ويربط أصوات المصممين المبدعين المحليين مع العالميين لتشجيع التعاون ومناقشة الأمور الإبداعية والثقافية والفكرية.
Talks on Design podcast by Liwan explores contemporary design themes across the Middle East and beyond. Featuring pioneering Qatari creatives, the podcast connects local and global design voices and encourages collaboration and commentary on creative, cultural, and intellectual matters.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to Liwan. We are in a historical building during a historical moment. And I don't know if you know the history of the building already, but this is a building that's embedded in Qatar's culture. This is a building that housed a lot of our mothers and aunts and sisters. This is the first girls' school in Qatar that was built in the 50s and founded by Amna Mahmoud Al-Jada, the first women educator in Qatar. And today we re-established the building with Qatar Museums and our director Aisha Swedi as a co-working space for artists, designers and creatives here in Qatar. So this is a members co-working space. So please, if you know anyone who is interested, who is a designer of any sort, please log on to our website, liwan.qa, and ask them to apply. Maybe come check out the place beforehand. One of the things that we are focusing on here in Liwan is deeper knowledge within design and how design is related to all parts of our life, our daily life. From waking up in the morning to going to school, coming back, sports, everything. Design is in every part of our life. And with that, we explore that in a journal, a theme journal that we have 2 themes a year in that journal, and the journal could be anything from articles to photo, essays to Liwan sessions like this one. Our first theme, of course, we concluded it before we actually opened the space to public. It was on pandemic and design, of course, and we looked at different ways of how the pandemic contributed to design and how design helped solve a lot of the issues that we had around the pandemic. The second theme that we have now, that we're just starting now with this session, is sports in design. And we look at how design has been used to push the game to new lines, discover remarkable stories between sports and design, from stadium design to posters to logo to fashion, tech, and how design and sports had been used to bring global and local communities together. Today, we are very proud to have our first Liwan session with Qatar's leading athlete, Mutaz Barshim. We're so pleased to have you here for the discussion. Thank you very much for being here. On the important role of design has played in his career and how design in sports responding to the global concerns and local concerns as well. The design is moderated, the talk is moderated by Mohammed Abdulla Alhamadi, who is a fine artist, content creator, in multiple platforms. He started working after coming back from the United States in 2007 after graduating from a BS in chemical engineering. So he has nothing to do with design whatsoever. But then he took on his real passion for design, and he did courses in Virginia Commonwealth and University in Doha, where he studied basics of drawing, painting, design, and art history. Mohammed, with a number of his young Qataris, established Innovation Films and produced a number of feature films, short films, and content for social media platforms, supporting young local talents and training them behind and in front of the camera. And our speaker for today as well is, of course, no further introduction needed, Mutaz Barshim. Ever since his coach Stanley took him under his wing in September 2009 to guide him through the League of the World Champions, he has devoted his heart, mind, and body to the world of sports. Barshim immediately hit the ground running with an early breakout into the international stardom at the young age of 19. He has set the Qatari records in Gothenburg, Sweden, with 2.25-meter jump in February 2010. He won gold in 2017 in World Championship in London, and 2019 in Doha. And of course, the moment we all remember, sharing the gold in 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Now, also to see the design and to think about the design, I feel like you have incorporated a lot of the Qatari theme when it comes to the colors. You can notice that you're infusing more maroon, more white, more the gray color that you would see it in the branding in general. Did you do that intentionally? Did you have a choice in the colors? And even when I see your products, your hoodies, your hats, there is this feeling of the similar theme of colors that you're utilizing, basically.
Definitely. I mean, I always want to, when I design a product or merchandise or something, I always want that product to reflect my identity or something from my background or something that means something to me. So definitely, when I'm on a process of designing something, definitely I make sure that Qatar color is coming. I might put something that no one knows about, but that particular something means something to me when I started, or means something to my coach, or anyway connected to my family or somehow. So I always want to feel like I want to reflect my identity. Being an international athlete, Olympic and Olympian and world champion athlete, I represent my country. Yeah. So I feel like you become an ambassador. So of course you want to show that to the world. I mean, I travel like 8 to 9 months every year, all over the place. So you compete in many places, and I feel like it's kind of obligation, a kind of part to let the people know who you are. There's a lot of people that follow you, but they don't know so much about the country.
Exactly.
So I just want to reflect that, and especially like my event is not. I'd say like coming from Qatar to be a high jumper is. I don't want to say it's almost impossible, but to many people it's like, what do you mean? You don't have that. Yes. Like, exactly, like high jumper. Like, no. So it's surprising when you come. They're like, oh, you're actually good. Oh, he's actually the best. They're interested. They want to know more.
100%.
Yeah. So it's. I just want to make sure that I'm gonna be able to deliver a message and a little bit of knowledge of my background.
And to confirm what you say, like whenever you hear the spectators talk, they either say Mutaz or they say Qatar. They say Qatar is jumping, Qatar is moving toward the stage, Qatar is going to start moving sometimes. So they call you Qatar as much as they call you Mutaz. So if it's not, they're not adding pressure on you, but at the same time, you are actually a good reflection or a good representation with the brand, with the clothing, with the personality, with the character. You know, when and especially like you say, you hear Rockstar and Qatar within the same sentence. This is interesting too. But it does add pressure, but you are 100% actually pulling it off. Now, to move further, you, through this career and being an Olympic medalist and being a record breaker, you started dealing with sponsors and partners. One of them is Richard Mills. Of course, the watches. Can you tell me about that experience?
I believe everyone, like we all have different professions, and everyone, let's say, as a creators, you want to reach a level that you can spread your work. You want to collaborate with the top people in different platforms, in different professions, whether it's sport personnel, actors, politicians, whatever. And what I love about art, art is not limited. Like literally, you can design something, you can wear the president, or you can wear it like literally someone a baby. Mm-hmm. For myself, my platform was the sport. The sport is the platform that I use. And it gave me so much. Okay, because I have some performances, it gives you access to different brands, access to be recognized globally, create some interest for some brands that feel like, okay, we believe that what he does is unique. How can we collaborate? How can we work together with such and such?
Exactly.
So with Richard Mills, it was actually a funny story. I love watches. I mean, since a young age, I always loved watches, different brands. But Richard Mills was one of the brands I always said to my wife, if I win the Olympics, I'm getting a Richard Mills. It's expensive watch, to be honest, a very expensive watch. I said, I'm gonna get myself that watch as a reward for myself. Luckily, I didn't have to do that. I was in Rio in 2016 at the Olympics. So after the competition, after the medal ceremony, a friend of mine called me and said, listen, there's this guy, he's really, really interested to meet up with you and he just want to talk. I said, okay, no problem. So I would just have to do a few media and some press conference. I said, we can meet, no worries. So when the guy came and we was talking and he said, the way you jump is so nice, I'm impressed, it's elegant. And I didn't know who he was at the time. So we talked for like 30 minutes and it turned out that this guy is actually Richard himself.
Wow. How was the reaction? Did you do it?
I didn't know at the beginning.
Yeah.
So he seemed a very cool guy. I'm like, nice, thank you. And he seemed very friendly guy. So, and then he's like, can I have your number? I'm like, no worries. So I give him my contact. I didn't take his. And so after I said, it's crazy, it's Richard. I love his watches. So it's funny that I know about his watches. I know about the brand, but I don't know about himself. That's also the power of designing and marketing and all the stuff. So, and I tell my friend, like, it's crazy, it's Richard, and he's really interested. And he said to me, I really want you to be in my team. I'm like, please, don't worry, just say it. And they said, he asked me a question, and I thought it was tricky. It's like, do you jump with watches? And I just like, actually, I don't. But I want a watch.
But that's extra.
I'm like, if I said I don't jump with watches, maybe like, okay, then you can't be in my team. And if I said I jump, then maybe you want me to jump with it. I'm like, because I didn't know how heavy it was at the time.
Exactly.
I said, listen, Richard, no, I don't jump with watches. It's heavy. I don't want anything.
Heavy.
Yeah, I have to focus on my career. So
I don't want an obstacle.
Exactly. And he laughed. He said, don't worry. I said, okay. And 2 days later, I said, why didn't I take his number? He's never going to call me now. And just when I was leaving the Olympic Village back to Doha, he called me actually. He said, it was nice to meet you. He said, just let me know when you're next time in Paris. I said, I'm in Paris next week. I'm doing a photo shoot for some magazine or something. He said, okay, we meet. So we meet up in Paris. We sit and talk. And I said, listen, to be honest, I love the brand, of course. I love the watches. But I would never jump with a watch that I think is going to be heavy. And he said, don't worry, let's work. We're going to design something. And really, he got me moved. I'm like, whoa, okay. He said, I can make something you cannot feel in your wrist. I'm sorry I didn't wear it today, otherwise I will let you feel it. It's like the outcome of this watch. So he's a genius. We've been talking back and forth. He kept me on the loop in all the designing. I insist the color to be in the Qatar colors. I want something unique. This watch is actually 32 grams. You will never feel it in your wrist. Like when I have it, literally, I feel like I don't have anything. It looked good. It feels good.
So did you jump with it?
Of course. The first, so that's 2016. It took a full year to develop, and I got the first one actually that I ever made in 2017, a few days before the World Champion in London. The moment I just put in my wrist, I compete, World Champion.
I feel like we're not really worried about the burden of being an obstacle as much as breaking it.
It's fine, they'll cover that. But I just had one jumping session. I had to try it on my wrist, but it wasn't.
But how involved were you when it comes to the design, practically speaking?
Yes.
Like the shape itself, certain elements within the design, certain elements to add more to the character of it, because the watch does feel unique, different than the others.
I mean, the technicalities of the watch, it's all Richard. He's a genius. The guys genius have a great team. They're working solid, all the functionality and stuff. I believe in what he does. So, when it comes to design, coloring, I mean, the straps, for example, this strap was introduced the first one for myself because I didn't want, this is the normal strap, the Velcro, so it goes like that way. But I felt when I compete and put it back, I felt like it took longer time and I didn't feel really secure.
Yeah.
Like, what if I jump and the watch fell? So it distracted me a bit. So we come up with this elastic band. I literally just,
okay, that stick.
Yeah, and it's perfect. We're never gonna feel it, and it's really functional. And after this, I think it's selling like crazy.
So you were part of all the prototyping earlier and previous to actually getting to the final design.
Everything. I was part of everything. He kept me in the loop, even the stuff that I didn't understand. We always talk. So what do you think? And then he sent me all the drawings, he sent me the PDFs, he sent me like.
So it was a learning experience to help you out with future designers and future sponsors and partners that you're working with, such as Puma, for example.
Yes.
Now you just signed with Puma, and now you're representing them, wearing their clothes. Is there something that you're cooking? Because I bet that you are.
No, it is. I mean, the thing that actually let me make the decision to move to Puma from Nike. I was with Nike for 10 years. I felt like I always want to evolve. As a person, I don't like to have a roof under my head. Everything was great and amazing, but I felt like it's time for me to go further. Like sports is limited. I want to create something that lasts.
Mm-hmm.
So, really big thanks to Björn, CEO of Puma. We met a couple of times. He's a genius. He's a great guy, and we had discussion, I think, last year about the possibilities to switch to Puma and what they can do, what I'm interested in. And he know how to approach me. I don't know, maybe he studied me a little bit. And he said, I know you love design and fashion, so I want to create your own line. Like, okay, keep going. I like that.
Okay.
So we come with a lot of things, a lot of ideas that I pitched to him. They were happy. I sent my logo to the designers. They come with a lot of cool ideas. I was really happy. And I felt like I want to create that. I want to create my own line. I want to make my own clothing line. I know there's a team of professionals that have been doing this for so many years. They have the platform, they have the resources, they have the knowledge. I can bring my ideas to this thing, and I think we can start something that really can help my brand. And you know, not in terms of performance, but in terms of fashion or styling or designing. So I think the guys are really, really happy to work with me, and I'm really happy to work with them. We've been pitching ideas back and forth, and my plan is I want to launch like sports clothing wear for children.
Okay.
Yeah, and onward, of course, for adults as well. But I want to be something a little bit unique, something that I have creative control in the process of making it.
That's great. That's really great, actually, to focus on not only the bigger generation, but also on younger generation, to try to inspire them, especially with the sportsmanship that you actually share and show and everybody talks about. That brings me to the legacy part. Now, we talked earlier regarding that you have a lot of projects regarding leaving a legacy, leaving an impression, changing the world, changing the community and the society, focusing on creating a difference. How do you approach that?
As I said, sport can be sport is like short. You know, the life of the career of a sport person is short. But what I think what make the difference between different sport people, like what you want to do after. Okay, you're great. You create a name for yourself. You create a legacy. I mean, you create how to say, like a fan base.
Yes.
The people that follows you, the people that get inspired by you. What do you want to give after that? After your sports career? There's a lot of people that when they finish sports, say, okay, I don't want to do anything. I just want to be a normal person. I know that, but I feel like it's just gonna be a waste. Mm-hmm. To let everything that we built together, me, my team, and everyone that support along the way, to let it just go. I want to use that. I want to use that name. I want to use the achievements to inspire young generation in terms of sport. I have a lot the knowledge that I've been collecting through my career. I want to give to the next generation. If I'm gonna be able to help you or you to develop yourself, even if it's something very small, I feel like okay, I'm happy about that. I can be part, like a very, very tiny part of a process of development young athlete. And in terms of outside the sport itself, I say it again, I have different interests. I feel like I've been putting all these hobbies on pause because of sport life. It takes so much, but I want to presume all these ideas after I retire, whether it's like we talk about like films, animations, whether it's just to create, design, and all the stuff that I think it's fun for me as well.
Books, comics,
yeah. You know, I love it. Same. Like we've been working out like in biography books that hopefully coming soon. Kids books that I show you some of the stuff that we've been working on. The stories that, for example, the Olympic story and what happened, how we can minimize it for the young kids to absorb it and to understand the value of it. Like, for example, the value of sharing and, you know, to collect a few things that we think is going to be beneficial for youngsters and
to give them some of the values that you actually
definitely.
trying to
You don't have to talk to them. I'm going to talk to a young person. I'm not going to go, you have to work hard, you go to Olympics, you have to win. No, I don't care about that. You know, I'm for him like, oh, relax.
Yeah, you can't go directly.
No, you know, it's and to be honest, the result doesn't matter when you're a young age. All this stuff comes later. I need to build the love of doing what you do. I need for you to feel like I'm doing this because it's fun. I want to be good at it because I like it rather than I go and perform. There's so many people that are good at something but they hate it because that's not their passion. They don't love it. There's a lot of parents out there. You're going to be a doctor. That's it. Yeah, he graduated doctor. He's miserable.
You gotta be an engineer.
You know, study medical and then what did you study?
Chemical engineering.
Yeah, then he became so.
Now
So-
I'm a film producer, so you can
know,
see the difference.
That's what I mean. Find something that you really love. Doesn't matter what it is, and you don't have to convince anybody. Like you like these things, you want to be good at it. Doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. There's many people think like, what you do? You go and jump. That's it. I'm like, yeah, but I love it. You know.
Well, I do feel like we're living right now in a really good period where in Doha is becoming a creative hub.
Yes.
That's actually including all sorts of platforms, all sorts of places, residencies, and room for expressing yourself in different ways, whether it's fashion, whether it's graffiti, whether it's painting, animation, film, and all sorts of stuff. Do you see yourself working with local talents such as like designers, fashion designers? We have lots of people that worked with Fashion Trust Arabia, with M7, with here in Liwan. Do you see yourself creating your brand and working with local designers?
Of course. Why not? I mean, like, it's only opportunities create different opportunities. I have the opportunity today to be visible in a world-class platforms that maybe a local artist, like a beginner local artist, I would say, don't have that visibility. And sports is a very great tool to promote this kind of work. Today we see even a very big international artists collaborating with different sport personnel. It's not because they feel like, oh, they just gonna promote and that's it. If you promote, you can put it anywhere. You can put it on the billboard because the humanity side of sport. Like I go to some places, people don't. We don't have the same language. We don't have the same culture. We don't understand each other at all. You know exactly, but we can look at each other and just like we know we love this one thing. We love football. We can come together and just laugh and clap about it. You understand? So there's certain connectivities in sport, and I feel like it's a very great tool
to surpass old barriers.
Definitely. And in terms of collaborating with young talents and local talents, for me, of course, I think it's a good idea, and I would love that. I don't know how. Omar there will sit with you guys, maybe come with the idea, but I would love to. Why not? You never know where your work gonna take you. I would never expected I would reach that level where I am today in terms of collaborating with big brands that I'm actually collaborating with at the moment. And something, of course, maybe at the moment you feel like, oh, this is very far or it's impossible or something. I believe if you work to improve yourself, even if it's a little bit, step by step, day by day, as long as there's an improvement, I feel like you're gonna, achieve what you want to achieve. And again, I'm saying, you never know. I cannot tell you how is that work, but opportunities will always present themselves. You have to be ready at the right time. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And sometimes opportunity might come one time. You need to make sure you're going to be ready to snatch it, to take it. Like I remember one of my first deals, it was happening but kind of slow. I was in Doha. I had so much stuff to do. I have competition. I had to take a flight from Doha to Japan for like 1 hour, and then get back Japan, Doha, and be at the training the next day. Yeah. And I did it. because I know that 1 hour was very important, and it's gonna open so much opportunities to myself. Exactly. So I could also be like, oh, that's so far. It's 11 hours flight. Why would I do it? You know. But
100%.
Exactly.
And
so
if it goes, it goes, and then.
And if it didn't, I still put the effort.
Yes.
I'm satisfied. If I put 100% effort and like something didn't happen or the deal didn't happen, it doesn't matter, because I believe what meant to be will be, as long as I put the effort. And if it didn't happen, okay. If it happened, okay, amazing. But I'm not gonna feel bad. Oh, I could have done that. Maybe if I did that. So again, I say, as long as you guys keep working, keep improving yourself, opportunity will present itself, and you never know. I mean, today we have the World Cup in Doha. That's the big opportunities to present your work in different platforms, in different ideas. Be creative. Don't follow the pack. There's a lot of people that follows the pack. Oh, he made it that way. Oh, it's working. It's not gonna work. It might work for he or she, but doesn't work for you. Find your own. I believe everybody have a unique way. I remember Khalid, when you made that Al-Hisar paintings, I didn't know who Khalid was. People send me that picture everywhere. Bang, 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 bang. Look at this, look at this. What's going on? I need to focus. I'm completing search. You don't understand. People from Liwan to people like, oh my, people send me, you have to see this one, you have to. And then I say, I'm like, wow, this is really creative. That's how I get to know Khalid, for example. And see, it was a negative situation that he turns into a positive and he creates something. And that's what I mean. This is how opportunity works. As long as you're going to be unique in your own platform, in your own ways, I believe that good things will happen.
Thank you very much, Mutaz. صراحة.